Number 6, Inez Steffi Choki. Number 7, Amy Wah. Number 8, Hans Sarah Bailey. Number 9, Daniela Mbembe. Number 11, Jayla Owen Lafontaine. Number 13, Orla Nayan. Number 14, Alfonsia Elito. Number 15, Teresa Abilene Grimes. Number 21, Phoenix Gideon. And number 22. At number 22, Keandra Brown. Head coach Danielle Lacoste, assistants Ewo Farah and David Gracia. Now, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Alors, vous l'avez vos chapeaux pour notre hymne national.
Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome back to Victoria as we get set for the final game of the 2019 U15 and U17 National Championships from Carsa facility here at UVic. It's Ryan Zapmary, and alongside me is Vikes women's player Christy Gallagher, as Christy is going to try it out and get her hands wet here with a little bit of broadcasting here to help me out on the championship game for the U17. Thanks a lot, Christy.
Yes, Ryan, no problem. I'm excited.
So I'm looking forward to what we have in front of us in the final game here tonight. We've got a really good-looking matchup between Team Alberta and Team Quebec. Now, it's been quite a day for Quebec already. They've already taken all 3 championships in the other 3 games for the gold medals of the U15 and U17 men's tournament out in Fredericton, as well as the first game here tonight against Ontario in the U15 side of the draw. It was a 72-55 win for Quebec, so they would love to make it 4-for-4 today and take all 4 titles back home to La Belle Provence. But standing in their way is a very strong Alberta team that took down British Columbia by a score of 54-49 yesterday. But the big news for Alberta in that game, Christy, was that they lost the services of their star forward Yvonne Ejim in the fourth quarter. It was a really good test for that squad to still come away with a victory despite missing her. She is dressed here tonight. We saw her kind of gingerly warming up, didn't do a lot of movement in that warm-up, so it'll depend on her team if she does indeed play a factor in this game here tonight. But overall, it should be a fun matchup in the final game of what has been an outstanding week of basketball here at UVic. We just have the starting lineups to come here on the court, and then we will have the tip-off about a minute away here on SportsCanada.TV. We'll take a break, be back with you in a moment with the start of the U17 championship game.
Just a friendly reminder to all fantasy players of the spectator code of conduct is in effect. Please respect all those involved in the game by showing off your support in a positive and friendly manner.
We are just about set for the tip-off here at Carsa. The 2019 U17 Women's National Championship game between Alberta and Quebec. Quebec in the home whites, Alberta in the blues, and they will take control here off the tip. And again, Ejim not in the starting lineup tonight, so we'll see if she does indeed play in this one or if she will be held out from the ankle injury she sustained in the second half against BC yesterday. Looks like we have a clock malfunction here. Shouldn't have been a reset there, so I think they'll put about 4 seconds on the shot clock, I believe, because there's 9:40 remaining. I'm not sure if they attained it right off the jump, but that's what they're going to say. So 4 seconds to shoot. So Alberta's going to have to get one off quick here, Chrissy.
Yeah, it did take them a little bit to get possession of the ball there, though.
So we'll see what transpires here. That's what I think the Alberta coach Dave Wacknuck is thinking as well.
See what they can do with 4 to shoot here.
Gonna have to get one off here quick. Take to the hole
and one.
Finishing it and one right away. As a nice take there by Mimi Seguin. And it was Seguin really that came to play in that final quarter yesterday against BC at a point when Ejim went down, and you figured that would be the BC's time to strike, but it was a big performance by Seguin along with Taya Demong, who had an outstanding performance, and she was the one who got the ball to Seguin there on that sequence. So it's an early 3-0 lead for Alberta as Quebec coming back the other way.
Four seconds to shoot here, and let's see. Three's no good.
No good there, but a second chance opportunity, and another one here for Quebec. Not able to make good on any of those, though, and Alberta comes away with it. Quickly down the other way comes Hannah Riddick, and she has a nice little spin move in the paint to get her team up by 5 in the early going. And Chrissy, it really seems from what we've heard in the pregame here that it seems to be a pro-Alberta crowd here. It would make sense considering it's a lot closer to travel. I have seen some Quebec fans out there, but yeah, a lot of Alberta fans there. It looks like the U15 Alberta girls all situated right in that front row with lots of noisemakers to try and upend Quebec, but it didn't work on that one.
No.
As that was Keandra Brown. She's one of the leading scorers on this Quebec team, comes in with 12 points and 5 rebounds per game. Nice take back the other way off the turnover, but again, it'll be knocked out of bounds and will stay in the hands of Quebec. I do really like Quebec's jerseys. They kind of mimic the whites from the UNC Tar Heels there, don't they?
Yeah, they do. The light blue there.
The Quebec road jerseys in the last game, though, really reminded me of your old high school jerseys at a Parkland there, didn't they? Yeah.
No good there. Alberta on the break.
We'll see what they do here. There's good defense applied there, so a tough shot there by Declercq will not go, so it remains a 5-3 game. Quebec had to pull off an overtime victory in the semifinals last night against Saskatchewan. I'll have to admit, I left that game with about a minute remaining. They were up by 6. I figured it was over, but a very hard-fought last few minutes for Saskatchewan allowed them to get to overtime, but Quebec did eventually come away with a 2-point victory, and it was a scrappy win for Alberta, to say the least, as we see a play underneath there by Seguin. Won't fall, and it'll return to the hands of Quebec, but it was a 3-point first quarter yesterday for Alberta, Christie.
Wow.
And only a 21-point first half that eventually did see them win over BC by a 54-49 scoreline, but just atrocious offense in that first half. Good defense, but just a lot of poor offense that got better as the game went on. They definitely played their best basketball in the latter stages of that one. There's a three-pointer there, will not fall for
a big block there
Alana
for Alberta.
There's another rejection there, gets the pro-Alberta crowd hyped up. Ball into Brown. Can't get the shot to go, and rebounded there by DeMong. Back the other way, little hesitation move there. Getting into the paint is Riddick. Can't get it to go, though. Good defense there again by Quebec, is kind of like in last night's game against BC. Alberta struggling a bit. These two teams did meet in the preliminary round. Quebec came away with a 73-66 victory in that one, so figure we'll probably have another close one if that game is any indication. DeMong kicks it back out. Riddick on the baseline is fouled. There's Brown, the guilty party there, so Riddick will go to the line with a chance to extend a 2-point lead right now for her team.
Good ball movement to get to that shot there.
Yeah, they work the ball around there nicely as we see a couple subs in for both teams right now. Looks like Riddick will get subbed out momentarily once she's finished these shots.
Foul number 22.
For 2 from the line is Riddick, so Quebec gets the ball back unscathed. Still just a 2-point game. It's about 4 minutes into this one here on SportsCanada.TV. Thanks again for joining us. It's the U17 women's gold medal match here from Victoria. The final game of the 2019 U15 and U17 women's basketball national championships. First time we've had the opportunity to host them here at UVic in Victoria. And there's another big block there by Alberta. Seguin getting her hand up on that one. DeMong gets it to Riddick baseline. Now into the hands of Palmer. Nancy Palmer puts up the leaner, but it won't go. And defense, the name of the game in the early going here. Worked around the outside here by Quebec. The 1 3-pointer in 4+ minutes so far. And a turnover there. Again, good defensive pressure. And some subs in now for both squads. And Alberta will take the ball back with a 2-point advantage. DeMong looks to take a long jumper. Rims out. Rebounded by Quebec. Into the hands of the point guard, Alana. Finds the wing, Aliko. Now Alana again. It's a screen from Lavelo Bryce. Corner 3 won't go for Mersail.
Quebec has been shooting a lot of threes early in this game.
Not just the one make to this point. As that was their 5th 3-pointer, and as I mentioned, just one hit so far. It was a atrociously 3-point shooting game in the first one. I think it was 4 of about 25 made between Quebec and Ontario in that one, so we'll see if that changes. Alberta's number 25, Filipina Kaye, will check in, so again, that's probably showing that Ejim will not likely play here this evening because Kaye only checked in the latter stages of yesterday's game as we see a violation there on the shot clock by Quebec to give the ball back to Alberta. So again, kind of mimicking what we saw in that first quarter of Alberta's semifinal against BC yesterday. Both teams really struggling offensively thus far. It's always hard to tell if you want to give the defense more credit for that as we see a nice steal or just give a hard time to the offense for not hitting the open looks. Probably a bit of both.
A bit of nerves, I'm sure.
Yes. And Alberta not giving much room to work with here for Quebec. Nice ball movement, though. Finally, an open look. Miss there on the three-pointer by Kijigini. No, I apologize if I botched that name. Loose ball underneath, and DeMong is fouled as she finally gathers it and tries to go up, so she will go to the line. Are they going to say it was on the floor instead? Looks like they may. So it will just be
on the baseline.
On the baseline for Quebec. She hadn't yet started up into her shot when she was fouled. Third team foul on Quebec. And Alberta is still clean in that category to this point, as we're exactly 6 minutes in, 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Just a 5-3 score line to this point. And
travel there, I believe.
I believe you are right, as that will be on Palmer, and she was not able to hold her pivot.
Both teams seem to be settling back into a 2-3. This is a maybe extended version here for Alberta.
Yep. Obviously, they want to clog up the paint as much as they can. Looks like a bit of a 2-2-1 press into a 2-3 zone here now, but able to break it that time was Quebec's number 21. As Phoenix Gideon makes it a 5-all game. We're all tied up now. Nice pass baseline, but unable to finish is Kaye.
Another three-point attempt there and
falls short.
Out of bounds.
So it'll be back to Alberta. And sub in for each squad. And it looks like Dave Wachnick wants a timeout for Alberta, as we are all even at 5 with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter here on SportsCanada.TV. We'll take a break in the U17 women's gold medal match. Be back with you in just a moment. Ryan Zammer and Christy Gallagher back here on SportsCanada.TV. We're all even at 5, low-scoring first quarter, much like the game Alberta played yesterday against British Columbia. As it was just an 11-3 scoreline after one there. Not much difference so far. 3:09 to go. Alberta will take the ball back. And Christy, let's see if either one of these teams can start to find a rhythm offensively down the stretch of this first quarter. Ball lost out of bounds. It'll stay Alberta ball.
Turnovers are hurting both teams right now.
It is Gideon who will take it coast to coast. And it's now a 7-5 lead for Quebec. Technically, it is a 7-0 run, as Alberta took an early 5-0 advantage, but haven't been able to find a hoop in about 3-4 minutes of game time here now. Long two taken there. Won't fall, but rebounded on the baseline. And there's a make there for Alberta. That was Cameron Declercq. Evens this game up at 7.
Both teams looking to trap high on the floor there.
Swung around the outside by Quebec again. Alberta playing modified 2-3 zone, it looks like here. Another long shot is missed by Quebec as their struggles from the outside continue in this first quarter, Chrissy. They're now just 1 of 8 from beyond the arc. mass substitutes into the game for both teams here. Nice movement by Alberta, and there's a big rejection there with authority. That is Ninkin, or Nella Ninkin. She is the leading scorer of the tournament so far for Quebec, coming in with a 13.7 rebound average. Had a big rejection to her total with that one there. Good job of working her way into the paint there by Morgan Harris, trying to find a teammate in the paint, but it was thwarted away by Quebec. Ball is stolen back by Team Quebec. That's the 5th turnover of the quarter by Alberta. Like to try and reduce those numbers moving forward. Quebec themselves has 4 as well. Another 3 put up by Quebec. This one will fall though, as that is Luella Alana.
Puts them 2 for 9 in the quarter there.
Yep. And a turnover
Another
there by
turnover
Quebec,
there.
as Quebec has really been able to try and assert themselves with some good defense on the last couple of sets. Let's see if they can get another hoop here to extend what's a 3-point advantage. Another 3 put up. That won't fall. Alberta rebounds it, and they look to move it in the other direction. Want to push the floor again here now. It's Sage Gibb with it. Just a minute left in this first quarter. Gibb with it again. Being harassed by 2 Quebec defenders, and it works as we see another turnover. 7 turnovers in this first quarter by Alberta, by some really pesky Quebec defending. No make on the first or second rebound there by Quebec, so Alberta comes away unscathed, pushing the floor the other way, and a finish there on that play by Mimi Seguin brings it back to just a 1-point game, 10-9, half a minute to go in this first quarter.
Love to see Quebec work right inside here and not just live by the 3. Here we go.
Oh, that was probably what you were looking for. And they get the rebound, but they kick it back out, and they're going back to the 3-point well. But that'll work, as that's Sarah's Bailey. As it's now a 13-9 lead. Shot clock's dead. Long 3 to end the first quarter by Alberta's number 2, Morgan Harris, will fall short. And that'll do it for the first 10 minutes of action. Quebec leading it 13-9. Not very good shooting from either squad. 4 of 16 from the field for Quebec, 4 of 11 from the field for Alberta. But it was the turnover game, 7 created by Quebec, that really helped them get some fast break opportunities, and they lead it by 4 after 1. We'll take a break here on SportsCanada.TV. We'll be back with the second quarter of action in the U17 women's gold medal match from Carsa at the University of Victoria.
Ladies and gentlemen, just another reminder, there was a leader towards the game. There was people all vacated until found at one of the team benches last night by one of the coaches. If this is your viewer, it's down at the field table at the moment, and it's fairly full, but it's not much better. It's a people all over.
Back here on SportsCanada.TV, it's Ryan Zatmary alongside me is Vikes varsity player Christy Gallagher. She joins me for color here on the U17 Women's National Championship game here tonight. And Christy, what did you see out of those 2 teams in the first quarter?
Well, both of them were sitting in a 2-3 zone there, and it looks like Alberta's going to stay in that. It's been effective for both of them of forcing turnovers. Quebec is getting some traps high. And we're seeing a lot of three-point attempts by Quebec.
Well, they seem to try and shoot their way out of the Alberta zone, but right now they haven't been able to do it all that successfully. They're 3 of 11 after that last miss.
They're most effective, I believe, when they get the ball in and then out. And
yeah, work it inside
move it
and
around,
then allow for some outside looks. So we'll see if that will change their play. But one thing that they've had plenty of success on in the early going here tonight has been defensively gaining turnovers. That is now the 8th turnover created by Quebec, as Alberta has produced 7 fewer shots despite just 3 fewer rebounds, and much of that is to do with the turnovers that have been created. There is a foul called on that play right there. Don't think Dave Wacknick likes that too much. He has a word for the official, and we'll see shots coming now for Quebec. It'll be number 13, Ornella Lincoln, who will be on the line, extending what's currently a 4-point lead. Again, if you're just joining us today, first of the two gold gold medal games here. A 72-55 win for Quebec over Ontario in the U15 side of the tournament here, as well as wins in both the U15 and U17 men's tournament out in Fredericton today. So Quebec could make it a perfect 4-for-4 if they come away with the win here tonight. But
great balance there to get that shot off.
As Seguin will head back to the line. Again, another note, if you're coming in late to this broadcast, Yvonne Ejim, who was outstanding for Alberta into the semifinal, as well as in that game against British Columbia, went down with an ankle injury. She is dressed, but we've yet to see her on the floor. It'll be interesting, depending on how this game continues to unfold, if we will find her on the court or if it's simply just she wanted to wear her jersey with her teammates. But right now, her replacement in the starting lineup, Mimi Seguin, has actually done a very good job of working hard to help her team stay in it. So far it hasn't really cost Alberta all that much. We'll keep the ball on the baseline with 4 to shoot right now.
That baseline, baseline 3 was open there, but
not what they wrote up on the game plan there to have happen.
The pass was not able to get through.
No. Doesn't usually work when you go through an inanimate object. Substitute there for Alberta. That'll be Deckler checking back in. She replaces Riddick. And nice job of getting the baseline there, and a finish by Nankin with the foul. So now Quebec's lead extended to 6. They can make it 7 from the free throw line. Noisemakers aplenty in the crowd today, Christy, both the Quebec and Alberta faithful trying to sway their teams on. And pardon me, that's now 18-9. They hadn't put the previous points up there, so now Quebec up by 9 points, and they've really started to assert themselves in this second quarter.
Great pressure defense by Quebec there. They forced many turnovers. What is that now?
We're up to 10 against Alberta in this first half, so you usually like to try and keep it in the single digits for a half to help have yourself get a chance. And with 8+ minutes left to go, Alberta already on the wrong side of that. Haven't heard of Taya Demong on the last few possessions. She misses, but that's followed up by Seguin. And she makes it an 18-11 game. Seguin now the leading scorer for her team in the early going with 7 points.
Seeing a lot of early shots from both teams here.
Nice crossover there by number 13, Lincoln, and we see a foul called following that. The Alberta fans
not so happy with that call there.
With that call, correct, but it will be the first on Demong. They'll that's the second on Demong, so that's actually somewhat significant.
That is, yeah, it's early in the second here.
She's been their best player other than Ejim in this tournament, and she was huge in that fourth quarter once Ejim went down yesterday, so now she will likely miss at least a few minutes here. Could even see her be held out the remainder of the first half. It'll probably depend on how her team does without her in the lineup right now. Quebec swings it across. Another three taken there, won't fall. They get a second chance. Ninekin misses another chance, another foul, as now both the turnover game as well as the offensive rebounding game heavily in favor of Quebec. Ninekin with 6 points following her first make from the line. Make that 7.
Both are good.
As they've shot perfect 4-4 from the free throw line to this point tonight. Probably make that 5 for 5 following the second one. So it's now a 20-11 game. Quebec leading it. 7:25 left in the first half. Thanks again for joining us on SportsCanada.TV tonight. Ryan Zamri and Christy Gallagher on the call. It's the U17 women's gold medal match. It's been a great 6 days of basketball here at Carsa and McKinnon here at the University of Victoria. First time we've had the honor of hosting the U15 and U17 women's national championships. And we conclude the tournament with this matchup here this evening. Shot clock running down on Alberta. Nice touch there, though, by Danielle Nadeau. Makes it a 7-point game. See if Alberta can clamp down defensively on Quebec and create some separation.
Alberta back in man here. Maybe Quebec can get to the rim a little bit more.
Well, it looked like they were able to, but unable to finish there was Gideon. As Alberta gets it back, down 7. Fair quick.
Turnovers like that are what has been hurting Alberta so far.
Absolutely, as that play in transition won't fall for the initial shot, but the follow will go. And I believe that was a
warning there?
Warning, yep, a delay of game warning for touching the ball after it had gone in. As that basket puts Quebec up 9 with 6:26 to go. Alberta now without the services of their 2 top players to this point in this tournament. One out with an apparent injury, as another nice baseline jumper is dropped there by Nadeau. She's got 2 straight hoops. But with Ejim out with an apparent injury that will likely keep her out of the game here tonight, as well as now Taya Demong with 2 early fouls in this one, they're going to have to try
big rejection there.
Fight their way back is another nice block there. This one off of Seguin. Gets the Alberta fans all hyped up on the near sidelines.
It's like their U15 team here, cheering them on.
Absolutely. We've seen that a lot in this week of action. A lot of teams have been running back and forth between the gyms, cheering on their fellow players on the opposite tournament. Everybody very close-knit on these trips, I'm sure. And this on the first shot here. Gideon with a chance to make it an 8-point game if she can hit her second.
Second is good.
Gets it to go, but a very loud environment here in Carsa from both of the team's fans. Well worked on the baseline by Alberta. Step back here, as it had been the hot shooting of Nadeau on the last couple of possessions that had worked. She's not able to hit there.
Another turnover for Alberta.
So they're now up to, I believe, a dozen in this first half, Christy.
Powerful take there and good dish.
Again, that was kind of what you talked about, using the inside game to open the outside shot. No good on the shot, though, but we will have a tie-up there. And a couple subs in for Alberta. Will be Rinsky and Gibb in. As timeout called by Quebec. They lead it by 8, 23-15, about halfway through this second quarter. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with you in a minute on SportsCanada.TV. Ryan Zammer and Christy Gallagher back here on SportsCanada.TV as we are down the stretch of the first half of play in the U17 women's gold medal match here from the Center for Athletics, Recreation, and Special Abilities at UVic. U15 gold medal match just prior to that was won by Quebec, a 72-55 victory, so they're trying to pull off the sweep here today. They did the same thing out in Fredericton on the men's side, beating the Ontario squads in both the U15 and U17 men's tournaments. So what a day for Quebec if they could come home with 4 gold medals in all of the tournaments across the country. Alberta still would like to have something to say about that. Worked around the outside. Gibb has it. Steps into the key, puts up a jumper, no good. Rebounded by Quebec, and they can now take their first double-digit advantage on this possession with a hoop. Stepping inside the three-point line. That's probably, you talked about it off air there, Christy. Maybe Quebec with some of those missed threes, just stepping in a step or two, you one fewer point, but the percentages go up a lot when you're struggling from beyond the arc. Get your confidence up with a couple of those easy makes, eh?
Definitely.
So it is now a 10-point game and another stop defensively for Quebec. They continue to extend their lead right now down the stretch of this first half.
Quebec seems to be playing with confidence here that Alberta just doesn't have. Alberta's a little rushed still.
They are able to get a turnover there and bring it back up the court. Looks like DeMong's going to check back in with her 2 fouls now that they're trailing by 10, and that'll help their cause. As a 3-pointer in the corner there by Jenna Rinsky, make it a 25-18 game. I think that might have been, was that the first 3 made of the game for Alberta? They haven't tried nearly as many as Quebec. That was just 2 attempts before that, so that was their first make. Quebec, meanwhile, has put up 14 in this first 16 or so minutes.
And that's 15 there.
Make it 15, correct. Another miss. And again, so it's one thing that's allowed Alberta to stay in this game is Quebec's lack of success from beyond the arc thus far. 8 for 27 shooting altogether. Alberta's shooting at a much better percentage, 43%, but they have 11 fewer shots than Quebec, thanks in part to the turnover ratio as well as the second chance opportunities off of rebounds on the offensive side. So now DeMong is back in with 2, so if I'm Quebec, I'm trying to go at her and make her pick up a 3rd foul in this first half that would put them in a real bind.
Definitely. It looks like they might just be doing that now.
Well, they are, as she's defending her player there. And obviously showing that she had her hand off her there. And now they're going to say last touch Quebec, so Alberta will actually get the ball back here, so that's a benefit for them. As it's down to a 7-point game.
U15 Alberta team doing some choreographed cheering here.
They seem to be all ready to go. DeMong nearly loses it, retains it now. Has it at the top, looking for a teammate. Gets it inside to Seguin.
Good passing, but
fortunately she's going to be whistled on the travel before she got it back to DeMong. So Quebec comes away unscathed there. Still a 7-point game, 25-18. Just under 3 minutes left in this first half. Quebec with a 7-point lead and the ball. And parked out in the key a little bit too long was Quebec number 14, Alfonsia Elico. So tried to dispute that she stepped out, but maybe too little too late there. Alberta. Gibb kicks it back out to DeMong. She takes it in. Hit as she heads to the hole. Can't quite get the shot to fall, but she will go to the line. Just the 2nd team foul this quarter on Quebec. Alberta's shot just 1 of 5 from the line right now. They're going to need to improve on that if they're to come back on this one tonight. Demong makes her first. And the second, so it's now a 5-point game, 25-20. Those are Demong's first points of the night, in fact. Another three-pointer put up here by Quebec, another miss. It's Ninkin, you can't find the mesh on that one.
Alberta doing a good job securing the board, though.
And saved, but lost in the turnover, so again, Quebec pushing the floor. It was probably a good...
That extra passing there has been really...
Good thought. Oh, two Quebec players bumped into each other there. That allows for Alberta to go with numbers the other way. Initially a miss there, but looks like a foul on Hannah Riddick's follow. She'll go to the line. She can make this a one-possession game if she's successful. And so far, Coach Dave Wachnick's risk to put back Taya Demong with 2 fouls down the stretch of this second quarter hasn't cost his team. And we'll see another timeout called on the floor. Minute 31 left in the first half. It's a 25-20 game in the U17 National Championship game from right here at Carsa at UVic. We'll take a break. Be back in a minute on SportsCanada.TV.
A reminder to all teams who work to the field post following the goal line and traffic is closing soon. The field post is located on the second floor of Carson, building room.
Back here with you on SportsCanada.TV. It's the U17 Women's National Championship game between Quebec and Alberta here from Victoria, BC this afternoon. Ryan Zatmer and Christy Gallagher on the call. And Christy, Alberta's done a good job of getting back into this one after it looked as though Quebec was really asserting themselves about midway through this quarter. I don't think Quebec has scored now for a good 2-3 minutes of game time. And Alberta trailed by as many as a dozen earlier on, now back to within 5. They can make it 4 if Riddick can make her second free throw here. She can't do, unfortunately.
Alberta will keep the ball, however.
Correct, so we'll have them with the ball with 14 seconds on the baseline.
Quebec started the game getting a lot of offensive boards. I think Alberta has kind of taken that away from them now and have settled in.
Alberta actually winning the rebounding battle now, 18-16. Good hedge on that screen on the top there by Seguin. Miss on the jumper by Quebec, and a foul called out of that. That's now the 4th team foul on Quebec. Next one will lead to bonus shots for Alberta. There's a sub in now for Alberta in the form of Cameron Declercq. Long.
Quebec back in their trapping here. Alberta's passing has not been very clean so far.
No, that's now the 14th turnover of the half, and you think to yourself, when you're down 8 in a turnover margin against a team as high quality as Quebec, you'd think you'd be in even worse trouble than they are, but Alberta has managed to stay in this one despite all of those turnover woes. Good job defensively here, forcing a hard possession by Quebec, and they're going to cause a shot clock violation, and that's almost been it, is they haven't forced as many turnovers as Quebec, but they have played strong defensively, and like you said, they've cleaned up the offensive rebounding troubles they had earlier on in the game. And now with 33.5 seconds to go, again, they can make this a one-possession game. And yet another turnover, make that 15 in the first half for Alberta. As it's a 27-20 game now. Shot clock's dead. They can hold it for one final look. As Declercq brings it across half, gets it to Palmer, gets it inside to Seguin. She is fouled with 4.9 to go. And again, another thing that Alberta could really use some help on in the second half, if they could, is trying to clean up their free throw shooting. Just 3 of 9 in this first half so far. But Seguin is able to make the first. She's been the leading scorer for her team in this first half with 8.
Second's no good, but they come up with it there.
One final shot before the end of the half, and that'll
no good.
Catch air only, as it'll be a 27-21 scoreline at the break. Quebec's still leading it, but Alberta definitely keeping it close, and should be interesting what we see in the final 20 minutes, Christy. But altogether, yeah, pretty close game on the score sheet. But you look at the field goal shooting, Alberta just 18 shots compared to Quebec's 32. Much of that because of their second chance offensive opportunities and the 15 turnovers for Alberta. And you have to think Coach Dave Wachnick for Team Alberta is going to have to stress ball control at halftime with the amount of sloppy plays that they had on the offensive end.
Oh, definitely. What do you think Quebec will be focusing on?
Well, I think for Quebec, they're going to want to just try and figure out how that they can get better shot opportunities, because that 3 for 17 from beyond the arc did not help them at all. If they had stepped inside 1 or 2 steps and made about 3 or 4 more 2-point jumpers rather than try and take the 3, this could be a very different score line. But for now, we still very much have a basketball game on our hands, as we will take a break here on SportsCanada.TV. We'll be back with the second half of action in the U17 Women's National Championship game from Victoria in just a few minutes.
showing all the coaching tools and resources. Coming this fall, look out for a new season of Canada's national grassroots basketball program, U17 basketball. This program is for community children aged 5 to 12 and is designed to develop fundamental skills supporting children at the game of basketball. For more information, visit basketball.ca.
And welcome back to SportsCanada.TV as we head to the second half of action in the U17 Women's National Gold Medal game between Alberta and Quebec. It's Ryan Zapmary and Chrissy Gallagher on the call here from University of Victoria. Final game of 6 days of competition here this week, Chrissy, and it's been a pretty good game thus far. Not a lot of offense in that first half, but we'll see. It's a 6-point game for Quebec, and they'll have the ball to start the second.
Alberta back in the zone, it looks like. 3-2 almost.
And a turnover there this time for Alberta. It was
for Quebec.
Sorry, pardon me. Yeah, they caused a turnover, but yeah, Quebec gaining 15 takeaways from Alberta in that first half. They only achieved 6 of their own, but this one is the first of the second half. However, they give it right back to them there, so kind of picking up where they left off. But all things considered, when you're down 9 in the takeaway category and only down 6 at halftime, they should be pretty happy where they stand. It's been the futility of Quebec's long shooting that continues there with another miss from the outside, but they seem determined to try and shoot their way out of their struggles.
They do. Alberta seems to be using their length to keep the ball out of the middle there.
Well, and that seems, I guess, to be what Quebec is trying to do. I mean, the zone has been pretty much been placed in place for the better part of this game for Alberta. They did switch to a man-to-man for a little bit in the second quarter, but they seem to be back in now this 2-3. And a shot clock violation, or are they going to let that go on?
Alberta did have possession there, so
either way, they're going to get the ball back now as
another turnover.
Another turnover starts the second half. A little sloppy coming out of halftime. Anyway, so it'll be Alberta ball on the sideline, down by 6, as they try to work their way back in this U17 gold medal match. If you're just joining us, British Columbia came away with the bronze medal earlier on this afternoon, a 69-60 win over Saskatchewan to finish 3rd in the U17 tournament. BC also won 62-55 over New Brunswick in the U15 side of the draw. And it was, so they won bronze in both the U15 and U17 for the host team. And then it was Quebec defeating Ontario 72-55 in the U15 gold medal match just prior to this one. Quebec will keep the ball on the baseline here, 12 seconds to shoot.
Another 3 for Quebec here.
It rims out, and now we'll have a loose ball foul. Or no, we're going to have a jump ball, pardon me. So Alberta will take possession back here following the jump ball.
No look pass there, did not work out for Alberta.
Not so much. So again, both teams yet to score in this second half as we're about 2 minutes in. Quebec will get it back here. Mentioned in the first half, both teams with some raucous fans in the crowd here tonight cheering on their respective squads, trying to help them bring home gold to their province. Right now it's anyone's game. Another miss from the outside from Quebec. They can still only hold on to a 6-point lead despite a huge differential in turnovers. Nice
straight find
inside there as Filipina Kai Makes it a 4-point game. Let's see what Quebec can do to respond now. Defense again by Alberta. Another miss from Quebec.
That's the shot they should, or that we had discussed they should be taking. A couple steps inside the 3 there, not forcing anything.
Gideon still is unable to come away with a make on that one. Up fake and take to the hole. Another miss. Second chance there allotted and is finished off by Brown. And it's now a 6-point, 29-23 lead for Quebec. We're 3 minutes into the second half now. Another turnover by Alberta. Issues with the offensive side of the ball for them continue to be the sloppiness, and for Quebec, it's the lack of consistent shooting. Brown takes a long jumper, that won't fall. Again, Christy, at what point do you kind of condemn the offense or try to reward the defense? Because it's kind of like, it's a catch-22. You don't want to be too harsh on the offense. Obviously, there's some very good defenses out here playing the best of what they have to offer, but at the same time, at this level, you'd think that the shooting would eventually come, but we're still waiting for that to happen, basically, in this game.
Definitely. The zones that both of these teams are falling back into on defense are keeping each other out of the paint and really forcing some long shots. There we go.
And the foul called in the paint. And it'll send Phoenix Gideon to the line for Quebec. Still nobody in double figures for either team yet. Gideon has 5 as she heads to the line, make that 6. Quebec has shot well from the stripe thus far. They're 7 of 8. Broadcaster's curse, she misses that one.
Quebec getting full court trapping here. Trying to force an 8-second call. They might just get it.
They will.
Do.
Tough break for Alberta, as it looked like they were just about to get across half, but not before the 8 seconds ran out on them. Great job there by Quebec. That one you definitely have to reward the good defense.
Definitely.
There's not much that Alberta could have done to prevent that one. As Quebec will get the front court. Again, you'll only get 14 seconds when you inherit the ball off of a whistle in the front court, so Quebec will have to work quickly here now. Worked around the outside as Quebec has led it by as many as a dozen in this one in the early going. There's another nice projection there by Seguin. She's done very well for her team in the absence of Ejim in this game. Again, one of Alberta's standout players twisted her ankle in the semifinal against BC yesterday. She has not been seen in this one tonight, as a long 3 there won't go for Alberta. Just, I believe, the 6th 3-point attempt of the night for Alberta in comparison to 19 for Quebec. So very different styles of offense being performed out here tonight. Substitute in for Quebec here now with 5:33 to go in the third quarter. It's a 30-23 game.
Quebec is still dominating the shots taken category, though, of 10 for 39, whereas Alberta is 9 for 21.
Look inside there, missed by Declerc. Closing in on the halfway mark of this third quarter. Quebec still in control, up 7 with the ball.
Not getting much off that ball screen at the top.
Another turnover here, this time caused by Alberta, nearly losing it though in transition, but they are able to retain it. Cameron Declerc here. 3-pointer for Alberta will find air. Somebody opened a door in here, Christy. 4:49 left in the third. Quebec will take the ball back. Both teams with just 3 and 2 points respectively through the first half of this quarter. Come out cold since the break. Another miss from the outside by Quebec. That one will make it 3 for 20.
I'd love to see both teams work out of the high post a little bit more against the zone here and try to make that extra pass.
And another in and out situation there. This one by Alberta. That was Nadeau. She had a couple nice shots in the second quarter. Was looking for another outside shot, but just wasn't to be on that one.
Very long three there, and it's good.
Finally, another three-pointer is made now by Quebec, their fourth. That's Rosalie Mercile. As Merci now makes it a 10-point game, 33-23, and foul underneath the hoop there will send Nadeau to the line for Alberta. She can bring them a little closer, but again, while it's been Quebec struggling from beyond the arc, it's been Alberta struggling from the line. They're just 4 of 11 at this point of the game from the free throw line.
More of a struggle there as 0 for 2 from the line.
So that makes them 4 of 13 from the line. And now Quebec with a 10-point lead. Another three-point up as they're trying to create some momentum from beyond the arc still, but it's still not to be consistently. Demong at the top. She might have to start trying to take this game over for her team. Can't get the roll to go there. Alberta will keep possession. Has some subs in for both squads now. Already down to just 3 minutes and 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Has chugged along here despite the lack of scoring, Christy. Long. Makes it baseline, looks into the key, gets it to Seguin, and she gets a
good find there.
Shot up and in as Mimi Seguin becomes the first player on either team into double digits tonight. So she's got 10 of the 25 points for Alberta to this point. They may need to start going to the well with her a lot more. Maybe do what you were talking about, use her out of the high post, see if they can create some stuff with that. Miss there by Quebec, last touched by the team from Quebec, so it'll be Alberta ball. Couple subs in now for both teams again.
High ball screen here for Alberta. Let's see if they can roll off of it.
Baseline take here by Alberta. Swing to the opposite end. Three-pointer is up and good. Big play there by Sage Gibb. Brings them back to within 5.
It's a big play there.
Big momentum shift there as the Alberta U15 team on their feet on the near sideline there, cheering on that.
Another 3 for Quebec here, but I believe
we're going to have a foul called and an offensive illegal push. So even more momentum now to Alberta. They can bring this back to a one-possession game. With 2:35 left in the third. Anyone's game still here in the U17 gold medal match in Victoria. Thanks again for joining us here tonight. Ryan Zapmary and Vikes player Chrissy Gallagher alongside with me. We're enjoying what's been a great 6 days of action here from Victoria with the final match of the U15, U17 2019 Women's National Championships.
With another foul here. A lot of momentum for Alberta.
So that's the 4th team foul on Quebec this quarter. Next one will lead to shots for Alberta. Still keep it on the sideline here. Ball into Declercq.
Been a low-scoring game for sure.
There's Seguin in the high post, kicks it back out to Demong. And now a foul against, I believe it'll go against Seguin this time. But there was exactly what you had been talking about, Chrissy, using the high post to their advantage. And actually, the sequence did look pretty good, just wasn't able to get the shot to fall there. Let's see if they go back to that same type of play selection for moving forward after that.
Alberta back in man defense here.
Ball nearly lost, kept by Quebec. And again, another three-pointer is missed, but they do keep possession. Second chance.
Allowing offensive boards has really been hurting Alberta this game.
Another 3 put up, no good. Quebec is now 7 for 23 from beyond the arc. Or pardon me, 4 for 24. And I didn't think there was 7 shots from beyond the arc, so that's overall overall shots from inside the game. I mean, they've taken more threes than they've taken twos in this game.
They have, yeah.
And that's not usually a recipe for success unless you're the Golden State Warriors.
Exactly, with a low percentage of 18 that they're shooting right now.
Nice backing in there, but even better defense there by Seguin. Another second chance, though, by Quebec. And this time it'll be lost out of bounds as Alberta will get it back. Very low-scoring quarter here. It's 7 points for Alberta, 6 for Quebec since halftime. As the scoreline remains quite low as we are coming up on the 4th and final quarter in just a minute and a half.
Again, they're looking to find that high post, but they're not able to make that entry pass.
Loose ball foul, I believe, will go against Alberta here. Seguin comes up looking like
holding
she's
her mouth there.
Holding her mouth, might have smacked her lip on the floor as the trainer now is out to take a look at her. Hopefully she's all right. Last thing they need is another injury to one of their bigs. Again, Alberta without the services of Yvonne Ejim here tonight after rolling her ankle against BC last night. She is dressed, but we have not seen a sniff of if she would be involved in this game. You never know if it's close late in the game, if she can will herself to get back out there, but the last thing they want to see is anyone risk further injury. Filipina Kaye now will check in for Alberta as Seguin takes a moment to ensure her mouth is all right. Looks like she's getting a cold compress on it to try and fix it.
Alberta back in zone.
2-3 being applied yet again. And really, it's been a very successful entity since of all of the missed shots by Quebec, and they even caused a turnover on this sequence. Sage Gibb in transition makes it a one-possession game, 33-30, under a minute left in the third quarter.
Quebec's spacing is just not allowing them to make that entry pass.
All worked around the outside, almost losing it, but keeping control is Quebec. Shot clock running low.
Great passing.
Great job of getting it into the paint there, and that's what they really need to do down the stretch in this game to hold on.
Back to a 5-point game.
Work the ball into the paint as best they can. That was Gideon with the hoop there. There's about 3 seconds separate the game and shot clock. Nice shot there by DeMong. I believe that's her first field goal of the night as the shot clock's now dead. Quebec can hold it for one final shot to end the third quarter. And there's another rejection at the death as the Alberta fans are on their feet, and look at the players out to celebrate with their teammates. Very animated right now as they are very much in this one. Despite the 19 turnovers through 3 quarters, Alberta can smell it right now as they feel good heading into the final 10 minutes of play. It's just a 3-point game. Quebec 35, Alberta 32. We'll take another break here on SportsCanada.TV, but we'll be back with the final quarter of action between Quebec and Alberta in the U17 Women's National Gold Medal match. Back here with you on SportsCanada.TV. Ryan Zatmer and Christy Gallagher here in the U17 Women's National Championship game, the gold medal match between Alberta and Quebec. 3-point game. Quebec leads it 35-32. Not a great shooting game. Lots of good defense out there, though, and Quebec will take the ball to start this fourth quarter. Long shot is good, so we'll see if they can finally break out of their scoring slump from beyond the arc in this final quarter, as Alana hits that one to put them back up by 6, as they shot just 4 of 24 from beyond the arc in the first 3 quarters from beyond the 3-point line. As they took more threes than twos in the first 30 minutes. There's a turnover, but right back the other way. Good recovery there by Alberta as they push the floor in the opposite direction. But DeMong is going to step out on the far sideline there and give it back to the Quebec team. As we see a sub in now with 9:08 to go.
Those last few possessions are really an example of what's been hurting both teams this game so far. It's just been turnover, turnover, turnover.
Looks like Mimi Seguin is okay to come back in following hitting her mouth on the floor a minute ago. She'll head towards the bench right now as we see a tie-up out there. Alberta with possession. And there'll be Seguin checking in right now. Still the leading scorer on either squad here tonight with 10 points. Ninkin for Quebec leads her team in the scoring department, but again, only 38 points for Quebec and 32 for Alberta. It's not been much of an offensive effort, but another turnover, and this time a foul will send the aforementioned Nincon. Or pardon me, sorry, it's going to be Phoenix Gideon who will head to the line for Quebec right now.
Quebec has been very good at coming together as a team and initiating traps like that in the front court to take Alberta by surprise.
Unable to get her first from the line is Gideon. Now 7 of 10 from the stripe are Quebec in this game. And Quebec wants a timeout following that shot with 8:47 to go. They're up by 7, 39-32. We'll take a break, be back with you with the last 8.5 minutes of the gold medal match here at Carsa on SportsCanada.TV. Back with you here at the Center for Athletics, Recreation, and Special Abilities at UVic. As we're coming down to the wire in the final game of the U15 and U17 Women's National Championships here, as Quebec leads Alberta by 7 in the gold medal match here tonight. Quebec having already won the U15 tournament 72-55 over Ontario prior to this one, and there's another potential steal. Alberta's going to have to get across the half quick, and there's another good step up by Quebec to cause a turnover, as they've caused 20-plus turnovers in this game. Very tough to win a game when you've had as hard a time holding onto the ball as Alberta has here today, but somehow they're still alive. Much of that in part to Quebec's poor shooting from the outside.
Great defense there.
And a shot from the outside will lead to a foul. We're going to have 3 shots coming here. Nope, just 2. It was a long 2. So Going to the line for Quebec will be Luella Alana. She's got both of her hoops so far have been via the three. Quebec has shot well from the free throw line despite their struggles from beyond the arc. 10 of 13. Now lead it by 9. Alberta got it to as close as 3 near the end of the third quarter. And another turnover. Chrissy, that's now 24 for the game. That's a 2-to-1 ratio to Quebec's. And they are just continuously shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, and some of them have been great defense. Like the last one was great defense. That was just sloppy play in the post.
That is. Hard to stay close in a game when you have twice as many turnovers as the other team.
And Quebec giving it right back here, though, and that seems to have been the times that Quebec has done it as well, is like right when they have the chance to almost step on Alberta's throat and really create some separation in this game, they shoot themselves in the foot themselves. And
give it right back.
Alberta has another chance to get a little bit closer. The largest margin in this game was 12 back in the second quarter. DeMong fouled as she retrieves that ball. Nearly stolen again, though, by Gideon. She was just a moment late on that one. Ball worked around by Alberta into the post. Kick back out now. Sage Gibb puts up a jumper, won't fall. Rebounded there by Quebec as they push the floor. Gideon at the top. Swings it into the corner. Nearly lost out of bounds, but able to hold it in there. A nice take, but an even better rejection there. That was Deckler with the stop on Alana there. So 5 seconds to shoot now for Quebec. And with 7:07 to go, they're up 9. Around to the outside, it's Ninekan. Kicks it back out. There's another
no rim on that one.
Another missed three-pointer as the shot clock expires. So good job by Alberta on that 24-second sequence.
Quebec staying in this press, which has been very effective for them this quarter.
Nearly causing another turnover, but able to hold on to it is Dumont. Not able to finish, though, on her take to the hole.
But gets the rebound laying on the ground there.
But still not able to finish there was Alberta. And now Quebec really starting to pull away here now. Christie is another hoop there, puts them back up by 11. It's a point short of their largest lead of the night. Seguin takes it to the hole, gets it to go, and one. So there's some momentum back for Alberta. And what they need to do now is get some stops defensively and really try to find any sort of offensive game. Really, and really that starts with avoiding turnovers.
It definitely does. Quebec was not too happy with that call there, but it was inside the charge circle, so a blocking foul it was.
Yeah, that is always a bit of a fortunate thing as an official. You don't always have those in high school gymnasiums, but when you have it here within the FIBA system, it's a nice thing to have. So even if the player's there, it's just you look at it and say, well, they were in the circle. There's a miss. So Alberta gets the rebound, however, and count that as a 4-point possession. Seguin gets another hoop, so she's now up to 14 points on the night after both of those hoops. And that worked even better than Alberta could have hoped. And nearly a takeaway there. Another 3-point attempt for Quebec. Another rim out, but a second chance again. No good there, though. And Alberta comes away with it, so a couple missed opportunities there for Quebec.
Alberta looking to push the pace here.
Kicking it out, and it's knocked out there by Quebec. So Alberta will keep it with 17 seconds. Looks like we'll have a timeout called on the floor for Quebec after the subs come on in. And we will. 5:57 to go. It's a 7-point game. Alberta with the ball. We'll take a break on SportsCanada.TV. Be back with the conclusion of the U17 women's gold medal match in just a minute. Back with you here on SportsCanada.TV. We're coming down the stretch of the final game of the tournament here at Victoria this week. It's been an excellent 6 days of basketball as it all culminates with the conclusion of this U17 gold medal match between Alberta and Quebec. Nearly lost there by Alberta, but they will hold on to it as they trail it by 7, 43-36, but have the ball here right now. Long takes it to the hole, can't get it to go, gets her own rebound, finishes it, 5-point game. That gets it across the half-court line, now working into the half-court set.
Back with some good ball movement here.
Another good job by Alberta's zone of causing a tough shot for Quebec. 5 for 27 from beyond the arc tonight. There's 25 two-point shots attempted by Quebec as they have continued to try to go to the well time and time again from beyond the arc. Demong misses that shot, but what are they going to rule here? They're going to say that Demong actually was able to flick that off of her opponent there, and it'll stay Quebec ball, stay Alberta ball. And as we'll see, Alana check back in after a quick rest for Quebec. She's had a very good night from the floor. It's facilitated the ball very nice for her squad.
The Alberta U15 team here making some noise for their...
They are into it. 4 seconds left to get a shot off, and instead we'll see yet another turnover. I think that's a even 25 for the night now for Alberta.
Ooh.
Unbelievable that they are still very much alive in this one. But again, between Alberta's turnovers and Quebec's poor outside shooting, these two teams still neck and neck. All work into the paint. Jumper no good there. Brown misses, and now we'll see a jump ball situation. Quebec with the arrow. They'll keep it, but they have just 7 seconds left to get a shot off. Brown kicks it out. Alana.
Another three, no good, and off Quebec there.
So again, now Alberta gets it back with a chance to make it a one-possession match. In again will be Seguin taking out Kaye. Alberta gets it across half. Working with it now on the front court. Into the paint. Seguin. Great job by Demong finding the big one. Good girl Seguin there. She's now up to 16 points on the night. Leading scorer for either squad. It's a 43-40 game. We're about 4 minutes away from the conclusion of this one. Another three-pointer. Up and good this time for Quebec. As that is Rosalie Mercier. As it seems as though that while they've shot so poorly from beyond the arc, every time they need a desperation shot, those
are the ones that fall.
That's right. Unfortunate there, missed by DeMong inside, but
strong
Alberta
board there by Seguin.
keeps possession for her squad. Nearly losing it in the high post. And we'll see a reaching call there on Quebec. As the crowd getting amped up in the waning minutes of this one, we're down to the final 3:35. As Phoenix Gideon will check in now for Quebec. Alberta, it's DeMong, now in Declerc. Takes it into the paint, gets it into Seguin. She is fouled. So again, now it'll be Alberta's free throw shooting that will be put to the test. So far tonight, Christy just 4 of 14, nearly as porous as Quebec's three-point shooting has been.
Alberta's really struggled from the line there and really struggled with the turnovers, and they're still somehow in this game. They'll hit him when it counts, it looks like.
There you go. She hits her first of two, now up to 17 points. Almost half of her team's overall contribution. And nearly able to come away with the ball there, but Quebec will hold on to it. Up by 5 with the ball, 3:20 left in the fourth quarter. The gold medal match of the Women's U17 National Championships from Carsa's UVic facility. Baseline jumper won't go, but there's a rebound for Quebec. Easy lane and finish there by Rosalie Mercier. She's got 5 big points here now in the latter stages of this final quarter. DeMong just able to get it over half to avoid the backcourt violation, but can't hit the jumper from the high post. A little bit more contribution from her would be huge here tonight, but she has just 6 points. Really had to rely on Seguin for a lot of offense here tonight, and of course, without the services of Ejim, it's been tough sledding for Alberta.
Smothering defense at the top there by Alberta.
Nice entry pass, finish, and one, as Quebec has a chance to go up by double digits from the line, as they've now gone on a 7-1 run since Alberta brought it back to within one possession. Substitute in for Quebec. It'll be one shot to come from the line. Misses it, so Alberta still down by just 9. Very little margin for error here for Team Alberta, though. Long with it, kicks it to the corner. Gibb for 3, won't go. Rebounded by
Big
Seguin.
rebound there, and
Gets the end one, and nope, they're going to say she traveled first. Oh boy, that's
goodness.
Tough for Alberta. And their coach Dave Wachnick is going to follow the official up the court. He does not like that call, but
no, that is a tough call. It'd be interesting to see a replay there.
Tough one for Alberta. And now he's going to get whacked on that one. Not surprising considering the stage in this game we're at. So Quebec will get a free throw shot from the line. He obviously wanted to get his 2 cents in on that one. And now you're seeing a replay.
I did see a replay, and it was a bit of a travel. In the moment, I did not agree, but
there you go. So that's why hindsight is 20/20 sometimes. But not surprising at the stage in the game in the tournament where we're at that you can see a technical foul taken. Because obviously the coach for Team Alberta wanting to try and inspire his girls with not much time left to go, but considering how tough it's been to get points for either team throughout the night, 10 points with just over 2 minutes to go, it's looking more and more likely like the clean sweep could be on for Team Quebec today. Can they go 4 for 4 in all 4 gold medal matches, men's U15 and 17, women's U15 and 17?
A big day for the province there.
Absolutely. One shot there is missed. And Alberta will get it back here. What can they do? They got to move quick. DeMong kicks it back out. Gets it in the corner. And another
steps out of bounds
step
behind
out
her
of
there.
bounds. I felt they were taking too much time anyway. At this point in the game, they basically got to get it down the court and shoot and go. And they were still kind of working their half-court set a little too long there as Quebec gets it back. And right as soon as it was made a 43-40 game, they've prevented Alberta from getting any more field goals and lead it by 10 with the ball here. Inside, there's a miss. Alberta rebounds it. Down to a buck 20
push
left.
the pace here. Oh, needing to push the pace, not pick it up.
Gibb pulls up at the top there, and she will be fouled, and that will actually send Alberta to the line, as that will put Quebec into the penalty. So what's the strategy here, Christy? Do you try and make the first and then miss the second with the chance to try and add points?
Oh, a minute 16. I think you got to make them both.
Got to make them both.
Yeah.
And just hope for some turnovers in the defensive side.
Yep. Make them both and get ready to play a good defensive possession, which is what it looks like Alberta's here to do.
Alberta playing somewhat of a full court press, but only one player was in the backcourt. I'm surprised it wasn't heavier than that. As Quebec gets it across, works it inside. Brown gets the basket, and is that the dagger?
That
Christy?
might be the dagger.
Down to just exactly a minute left now. Quebec now leading it by 10.
Alberta moving the ball. We need to get a quicker shot here.
And good pressure applied, though, by the Quebec team. Got to get a shot off here. Gibb. Three-pointer won't go. DeMong can't hold possession, and Quebec will get it back.
10-point game, 42 seconds left.
It looks more and more likely like Quebec will have a day for the ages as far as U15 and 17 basketball is concerned in this country. We were trying to see if it's ever been done before. The producer Troy believed that Ontario won 3 in one of the years, but we're
not all 4.
We're not sure. We're not going to.
Yeah, I can't say that yet.
We got to look through the list, I guess, but definitely could be an unprecedented day in Canadian Nationals history to see one province take not 1, not 2, not 3, but all 4 championships. What an exciting time to be playing basketball in the province of Quebec. Looks as though La Belle Province will be La Belle of the Ball this season. It's usually as they get punny down the stretch. So Quebec will go to the line. It all seems to be just a formality here now, as Alberta's going to fall just a little bit short. And you feel for them. You never know. Obviously, injuries. It's tough when injuries play a factor, and the loss of Yvonne Ejim, you were able to overcome it against BC yesterday, but her inability to play here today, seeming as though it will be a Quebec victory. Now up 12 with 21.7 seconds left. As again, a historic day for Quebec as they look to sweep both the tournaments here in Victoria as they did out in Fredericton. As they have had a great week of basketball here in Victoria, and this Quebec team specifically looks as though they will run the table as they went 4-0 in the lead up to this game today. And while this has been far from pretty necessarily, Christy, they did what they had to do to get the job done, created a lot of turnovers, and despite their shooting woes from the outside, like we said, the few times Alberta was sniffing, right at the door, trying to knock it down, Quebec got a couple of big shots to create that separation again, and it seemed that every time that Alberta got close, Quebec was able to just kind of pull it away from them again. And the last time, that big three-pointer with about 3.5 minutes to go by Mersaile had really a lot of effect on this one, and Alberta was never able to recover again.
Definitely. It looks like regardless of their 3-point shooting and the fact that they were, big collision there.
Let's see who the foul is called on here. I think it's going to be on the defense. There will be a blocking foul on Quebec, so Alberta will head to the line.
But regardless of Quebec's 3-point shooting and their reliance on the 3-point shot there, they're able to come up with this one, it looks like. First one is good for Alberta here. Second is good also, 10-point game. 15 seconds.
All Quebec has to do is get it across half, and they can hold it here now. The shot clock is dead as Quebec pulls off an extraordinary day of basketball. 4 championship games, 4 titles for Quebec. The 2019 U17 Women's Basketball Champions, Team Quebec. Congratulations, and to Team Alberta, a great effort, coming up just a little bit short, but a great week of basketball for both tournaments here at the University of Victoria, and what a way to end it as Quebec pulls off the clean sweep from coast to coast. 4 tournaments, 4 titles. Pretty cool, eh, Chrissy?
Yeah, definitely a big day for Quebec. They should all be pretty proud there.
So, leading scorers at the end of this one, as it was Luella Alana with 11, as well as 3 different players for Quebec, all finished with 11. It was Alana, Gideon, and Niken. They all had 11. And it was Mimi Seguin, the lone player in double figures for Team Alberta with 17. She stood tall in the post, but it was just a little bit too much of the defensive prowess of Quebec as they forced 27 turnovers, as it was almost a 2-to-1 ratio. So despite shooting just 30% from the field, Quebec does what they have to do defensively, and they get the job done.
Well, just looking at shots taken there, Quebec has 60 shots and Alberta 39. That's hard to have just a 10-point game even with that margin there. So
absolutely. So that'll do it for us from here at UVic. Christy, thank you so much. You did a great job.
Thank you, Ryan. Very exciting.
Hoping that you'll join us again another time, maybe for some Can West games once your career is done with the Vikes. But a great way to segue into your next career, possibly following your playing career. But you still got a year left here with the Vikes. We look forward to when UVic is back on the court. This was a great way to kind of get us, rearing to go for some basketball here, university style, come the fall.
Oh, definitely. Thank you, Ryan.
Absolutely. So for Christy Gallagher, I'm Ryan Zabary. Thanks so much for joining us on SportsCanada.TV here. And if you are going to stick around on the feed, we will be having the closing ceremonies upcoming in just a minute, and I'll be playing MC on that one. So we're going to close it down from here at UVic. For Christy Gallagher, I'm Ryan Zabary. Thanks again for joining us. Team Quebec taking both the U15 and U17 gold medals here this weekend.
Manitoba. In 7th place, Saskatchewan. In 6th place, Nova Scotia. In 5th place, Alberta. In 4th place, New Brunswick. The 2019 bronze medalist, Team British Columbia. The 2019 silver medalist, Team Ontario. And in the U15 division, 2019 gold medalist, Team Quebec. And now for the U17 division, in 9th place, Newfoundland and Labrador. In 8th place, Manitoba. In 7th place, Nova Scotia. In 6th place, New Brunswick. In 5th place, Ontario. In 4th place, Team Saskatchewan. The 2019 bronze medalists in the U17 division, Team BC. The silver medalists in the U17 division, Team Alberta. And your 2019 gold medalists in the U17 division, Team Quebec. And now I'd like to introduce the official representatives for the 2019 National Championships. Voici la representatives officielle du National Champion 2019. Introducing from Canada Basketball, Mike McKay.
From the University of Victoria, Athletic Director Clint Hamilton. From Basketball BC, Stu Graham. From the University of Victoria Women's Team, Head Coach Danny Sinclair. Vikes alum, Tracy Sabal. And from the tournament host committee, Whitney Hamilton. And I'd like to hand the mic over to Vikes Athletic Director Clint Hamilton, if you'd like to say a few words.
Thank you, merci beaucoup. Athletes, coaches, officials, parents, supporters, I want to thank you for a wonderful display this week and an outstanding event. Thank you very much. Players, I think we all witnessed this week your tremendous effort, your energy, your passion, the courage, how you played, and very obvious skill was on display all week. And I think, without exception, the pride that you showed in wearing your province's uniforms was evident all week. You should be very proud of how you represented yourself in the province. Quebec, Cadet Championship National. Bien fait. You know, I'd be remiss, I'm reminded this week that from Newfoundland to Victoria, together, we are a wonderful basketball community. A wonderful community. And when we compete against one another, but together, we are what makes this sport in this country fantastic. And to run an event like this, it takes a community. And I'd like to thank Whitney and all of the volunteers from Victoria that came together. On behalf of the event, thank you very much. And to Mr. President and Mike and Basketball, on behalf of UVic, thank you for the privilege of hosting this wonderful championship. And lastly, athletes, at the banquet, I said, I hope you've developed relationships in this experience. I hope you will remember it for the rest of your lives. And as you grow in your careers and you advance, I hope you will remember all the people that came together to deliver this championship. And I hope it will be you in the future that will find ways to deliver championships for the next generation. That's how we advance our sport in our country. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Clint. Vision Quest Photography has kindly donated a team photo plaque to each team for their participation in this event. When your team name is announced, we invite the team captains to come to the front and accept the plaque. First, Team Alberta U17. Team Alberta U17. Team British Columbia U15. Team British Columbia U17.
Team Manitoba U17. Team New Brunswick U15. Team New Brunswick U17. Team Newfoundland and Labrador U15. Team Newfoundland and Labrador U17. Team Nova Scotia U15. Team Nova Scotia U17. Team Ontario Team Ontario U15. Team Ontario U17. Team Prince Edward Island U15. Team Quebec U15. Team Quebec U17. Team Saskatchewan U15. And finally, Team Saskatchewan U17. At this point, we would like to once again introduce Clint Hamilton, Athletic Director of UVic, to please present the bronze medals. From the U15 division, Team British Columbia. Team, please come forward and accept your bronze medals. From the U17 division, Team British Columbia.
At this time, we'd now like to introduce Danny Sinclair, head coach of the U17 women's basketball team, to present the silver medals. First, from the U15 division, Team Ontario. Now from the U17 division, Team Alberta. And now the president of Basketball BC, Stu Graham, will present the gold medals. From the U15 division, Team Quebec. Next, we'd like to welcome Tracy Sabal, former senior women's national team member and Unit Pikes alum, to present the All-Star Awards. Please come on up and receive your award when you've been mentioned. First, we'll go to the U17 second team All-Star. From Team Ontario, number 5, Thea Santa Maria. From Team New Brunswick, number 15, Jessica Kuribe. From Team British Columbia, number 11, Juliet Terscherer. From Team Manitoba, number 5, Treya Paquette. And from Team Nova Scotia, number 4, Lauren Hainstock. Now your first Team U15 All-Stars. From Team Quebec, Christine Dravo. From Team Alberta, number 11, Delaney Gibb. From Team Ontario, number 22, Cheyenne Rowe. From Team Quebec, number 8, Sophie Ann Bouvard. And from Team Ontario, number 10, Lamaya Hilton. And your MVP of the 2019 U15 tournament, from Team Quebec, number 9, Cassandra Pascal. Now we'll move on to the U17 tournament, first with the second team All-Stars. From Team Nova Scotia, number 1, Samantha Russell. From Team Ontario, number 10, Jamie Foreman. From Team BC, number 22, Jessica Clark. From Team Saskatchewan, number 7, Kennedy Hollinger. And from Team Quebec, number 11, Yvonne Egan. Team Alberta, pardon me, Alberta wrong, my apologies. Team Alberta, number 11, Yvonne Egan. Now the first team All-Stars for the U17 tournament. From British Columbia, number 9, Deja Lee. From Team Quebec, number 4, Luella Alana. From Team Alberta, number 22, Mimi Seguin. From Team Alberta, number 0, Taya Damong. And from Team Quebec, number 13, Ornella Ninkan. And finally, your MVP of the 2019 U17 tournament from Team Quebec, number 22, Keandra Brown. And your 2019 U15 and U17 tournament All-Stars. Fans, please now welcome Mike McKay to present a plaque to the host committee in recognition of their support of basketball in Canada.
First of all, I'd like to thank the athletes for this. Was a very enjoyable week. The future of our game is in good hands. And each and every team, we've got better every day that I watched you play. And a lot of that has to do with you, but it also has to do with the coaching. The coaching keeps getting better every year that we come here. And I make sure that you thank the coaches for helping you to grow as a player. They've done a marvelous job. We could not run these tournaments without great support, first of all, from the University of Victoria. I'd like to thank you. Basketball BC taking on the hosting tournament, so again, thank you, Stu. But a lot of times the key is that local host organizing committee. And there's a special person, Whitney Hamilton, who really took this on, and a tremendous amount of work from her and her volunteers, also Coach Katie Sinclair and her team especially helped out a lot. But that is the backbone of Canadian basketball, is the volunteers. We could not survive without volunteers. And to me, it also what makes us special, because there's something deep in our hearts that we love to give to the game. And I hope you players remember that anytime you can pay it forward, that is so important, because it helps grow the next generation. On behalf of Canada Basketball, we'd like to present you with this plaque for all the hard work that you've done.
Players, at this point, you're also welcome to swap gear with each other if you chose to do so. Feel free, as we've now reached the end of the closing ceremonies. Thank you so much, everyone.